Hello, friends. Happy Tuesday. I trust you all having a wonderful day. I'm Gigi, and here's my partner.
Hey everybody, it's Andrea.
How's your day going so far, Andrea?
It's going great. Crazy, but it's great. It's all good.
We was trying to figure out how to go live on Facebook, but we haven't figured it out yet. So when we figure it out, hopefully by tonight, we'll go live on Facebook. Um, but that's the learning journey, right?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes, we'll get there. This morning I got up about 4:10. I set my alarm again for 2:50, and then I woke up and I put on my meditation, and I fall back to sleep. And which is, as we know, the subconscious mind still works; it doesn't stop. So, which is good. My conscious mind was shut down, so that's good. And then after that, I did my affirmation, like still staying on bed. So my husband was like, "What do you think you'll be doing? You keeping me up by doing all of that?" I said, 90 days. You remember you made a commitment? And so that was my morning. And then I got up at 4:10, and then I started doing my other commitment. So that was my morning. How was your morning?
I did the same thing. I reset the clock. But like I told y'all before, I do sleep with speakers in my ear. So I have that positive affirmations going in. And so for a little while, I was just I did those back off too. But like you said, thankfully, it still works.
Yeah.
So I guess we just needed a little extra rest today.
Yes, absolutely. That's true. Last week we was going hard at it. So, yes. Today we're going to continue with our book. So since we actually started a little bit late, it's not going to give us that much time to discuss today, but we are going to have at least 20 minutes to discuss. So if you have your books ready, let's get started.
Yay!
Yes. So yesterday we left pretty much where it says the conscious and subconscious terms differentiated.
That's right. Okay.
And I have highlighted the whole thing right there.
I did too.
So it says, you must remember that these are not two minds. They are merely two spheres of activity within one mind. Your conscious mind is the reasoning mind. It is that phase of mind which chooses, for example, you choose your books, your home, your partner in life. You make all your decision with your conscious mind. On the other hand, without any conscious choice on your part, your heart is kept functioning automatically in the process of digestion, circulation, and breathing are carried on by your subconscious mind through process independent of your conscious mind.
And you know what? You can drive by your subconscious too.
Yes.
I have. You know how, your car will just end up somewhere. You get lost in thought and I pulled into a grocery store parking lot and I'm like, I come to this grocery store way too much because my car just stays here by itself.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was thinking it actually while you saying it. But what I was thinking was the process of how we learn how to drive. So when we beginning to start learning how to drive, we're using the conscious mind.
That's good.
Yes. And then after we become familiar with the driving and we know how to get around, we don't think about it. So that's the conscious mind. So that I was thinking that
you don't have to think about it. The subconscious takes over.
It responds automatically. Yes. So that's a perfect example, actually. I'm glad you thought of that. You pulled it out of my mind. And it says right underneath of that, your subconscious mind accepts what is impressed upon it or what you consciously believe. And we touched up on this a lot from the previous day, which is he liked to, repeat it a little bit more. He want us to understand the difference between these two minds. So I highlight that one too, just to illustrate that again.
That's
Do you have
right.
anything to highlight on that page?
I do, and your subconscious mind is like the soil, which accepts any kind of seed, good or bad. And we've been talking about that too, which is good.
Yes.
Repetition, hearing the same thing over and over, does nothing more but to make it more solidified in your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind is like the soil, which accepts any kind of seed, good or bad. Your thoughts are active and might be likened unto seeds. Negative, destructive thoughts continue to work negatively in your subconscious mind, and in due time will come forth into outer experience, which corresponds with them.
Yep.
Remember, your subconscious mind does not engage in proving whether your thoughts are good or bad, whether they're true or false.
Yes.
But it responds according to the nature of your thoughts or suggestions.
Yes.
For example, if you consciously assume something is true, even though it may be false, your subconscious mind will accept it as true and proceed to bring about results which must necessarily follow because you consciously assumed it was true.
It is to be true. Yes. Very amazing how it works. Whether if it is a false information or true information, is going to take it as it is. So that's why it is so important for us to be selective of the information that we are putting in our mind, because it's going to take it as true. So let's start to believe that we are healthy, we are happy, we are amazing. Then it will start to take it in. Instead of the other way around, which is, I'm not beautiful, I'm not smart, I'm not, this and that. And if we don't want to continue, definitely, I believe none of us want to continue to receive those untrue stories about ourselves. It's definitely not true about us, because we are created in the image of God, and we are beautiful, we are smart, we are creative, we are amazing. So because of that, let's start putting in the truth, pretty much.
That's right. And the more you do that, the more you believe it. And,
Yes.
Unlike us, a lot of people don't have support growing up, and they actually have people that tell them that they can't do this or can't do that, or you will never accomplish this, or, negative things that they actually have to overcome when they get grown up.
Absolutely.
And it takes repetition to constantly tell yourself that you're not those things, that you are beautiful, that you are everything that you were saying.
Mm-hmm. And when we are kids, actually, we are not given the actions of what we're doing right now, what me and you doing right now. As a kid, we have no control over what people tell us, so we just take it in. Whatever we see in our environment, we just apply it because that's all we know. But as we are adults and we come contact with this, we have responsibility to clean that out, because it's not acceptable. And it should not be okay for us to continue to live that life in this, at this time when the information is out there for us to learn it. And again, it does take courage, it does take trust, it does take for us to stand up and say enough is enough.
Yes, and don't get bogged down in the I grew up with this, I grew up with people telling me that. Just go ahead and accept the fact that did happen, and then take steps to correct it.
Yes.
Don't go through the rest of your life being sad or being consumed with the thoughts of things that didn't go right as in your childhood. Yes. We all have that story in some form or another, but what we want to do now is we want to correct the future. So we want to do what you're saying. We want to go ahead and be consumed with putting in positive information to change those paradigms that are in us, negative connotations that were put there.
Yes.
As a young child. So
for me, what I found helpful is it's understandable. It's hard to believe on yourself when you have those bad information in you in your subconscious mind, and it's going to tell you that's a lie, that's a lie, when you want to put in a new information, which is good information. But the best thing I would say is that there are so many recordings on YouTube that can be found that we can just start listening.
Yeah.
And eventually the mind will start believing it. And those are the truth. It's just that sometimes it could be hard for us to sit down and write, I'm beautiful. So let's take the first step first. Find on YouTube something that will, whatever it is holding, it could be, let's start from self-love. They have it on YouTube, an affirmation that you can select, and start putting that on your, on your phone, and start listening and start listening. Give yourself 21 days a minimum, and you will see the difference. Then you'll be surprised.
Let's put one of those on our Facebook page too.
Okay, we can share that.
That'd be great. And maybe a couple other affirmations that people can, like some that we use that people can talk along to, and make their affirmations. That'd be great. I'm so glad we have.
Yeah, that's true. And please let us know if any of the affirmation that we post does not resonate with you, because it doesn't work for everybody. Every affirmation doesn't work for everybody. So it could be a different, voice they need to hear. So just let us know if you like it by hitting the like button. If you don't like it, just give us a comment that change it for you. Then we'll search and, post it on our Facebook page for sure.
That's right.
Okay, so I have you highlighted anything on where it says experiment by psychologist? I don't have anything highlighted on that.
I don't in that area.
Okay, all right. So I have highlighted somewhere it says the terms of objective and subjective mind clarified. Yeah, so this is pretty much the same, but it's just another term again. Your conscious mind, sometimes referred to as your objective mind, because it deals with outer objects. So, and that's important. I'm glad I highlight this one, because when it says outer object, we paying attention. So what's going on in the world right now in our face is something we see with our eyes, with our senses, our five senses. So we don't see what is, we see it pretty much, and we focus on that, and that's it. And if it is good, great. If it is bad, then that's not good, because that's not what our subconscious mind look at. Our subconscious mind is rich, which is, it's the inner part, it's the deeper part. And we did discuss yesterday how our subconscious mind has this infinity power that we can access and be able to use to create the life that we choose to create for ourselves and for the people that we love.
That's right. That's right. And it's easy to become consumed with the outer, because, we basically were raised to adjust our life according to what's going on around us on the outside. And, it's like when we're children, we're lost in our imagination, and like Bob talks about all the time. And then when you start school, they're like, Andrea, pay attention, you need to quit playing in La La Land, you need to be doing this or doing that. And we're just not allowed to
dream.
Yeah, to dream. The dreams are snatched away once we get, a few years old, and then we're just trained naturally to be controlled by the outer world. And it's definitely a process to unlearn that and relearn.
I'm glad you point that out, actually. And I posted the video about how to use your brain to be able to learn faster, how to memorize.
To listen to that.
So, on those teaching is pretty much they teach you how to unlearn how we were taught learning is, learning should be. And they don't, the old way of teaching is pretty much focused on what we see on the outside, on the objective, but when you learn how these two teachers teach, it teaches you to create, to dream. So because of that, you need to, Yes, and it is absolutely we need it in more in the school, and but we need to be unlearn those people who have been taught the way that we have been taught, which is just focusing on what we see on here. That's it. Um, then we need to unlearn that, and then actually go back to the resource where the information just give birth and and multiply. So when you say that, it's just it remind me of that. It's true, we need to unlearn a lot of things. We need to unlearn, actually.
Yeah, yeah, a whole lot.
We need to learn how to love ourselves. We need to learn how to love other people. And this some of us were taught actually loving yourself is selfish.
You know what? That's true. And I always the focus is on the service and the service of other people. Well, that's great because that is what you want to focus on. But how are you going to serve other people if you're not loving yourself? If you don't know who you are, if you don't stand firm in your own beliefs and your own dreams, and you've got to be a better person in order to serve others. You've got to serve yourself first. And that's something that I've just learned in the last 3 years.
Yes.
Really. And that was a process. It's I don't know how to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, we've always been taught, to think about other people. Don't put any focus on yourself. But
Yes.
that's just not true. It's not
Yes.
true. You've got to be your own focus first.
Yes.
And then it's so much easier to reach out and help other people. Be
Absolutely.
more.
Absolutely. It's kind of like when you know yourself, and like I say, for me, I realized that like when you know yourself fully, then you're willing to help others because there is so much you can give. But if you don't know yourself, how can you know you have so much to give?
Yeah.
How can you know you have so much to give? So I am very opponent on taking time out to really know yourself, because that path has worked for me, and now I can be able to share with others what I have learned about myself, and then also help others to learn about themselves as much as they can, so they can also multiply this and be able to help other people. And it's again, the focus is helping other people, but first we need to know ourselves. How are we able to help others? What do we know about ourselves? So I definitely believe in the path, against what I have been taught, which is like you say, focus on other people, for sure. And at the bottom, I have highlighted, it talks about the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is oftentimes referred to as your subjective mind, which is the opposite of the objective mind. Your subjective mind takes cognizant of its environment by means independent of the five senses.
You broke up.
Your mind
Gigi?
by
Gigi? I didn't hear it. I don't think any of that was clear. Could you hear me? I think
Okay, let me.
messing up.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
I can now. Yeah, everything that you just said, I don't know about for everybody out there, but it was just a blur.
Okay, let me repeat it. Your subconscious mind is oftentimes referred to as your subjective mind. Your subjective mind takes cognizant of its environment by means independent of the five senses. Your subjective mind perceives by intuition. It is the seat of your emotion and storehouse of memory.
Your subjective mind performs its highest functions when your objective senses are in abeyance. Abeyance.
Yes,
In
abeyance.
a word, it is that intelligence which makes itself manifest when the objective mind is suspended or in a sleepy, drowsy state, which is what we've been saying.
Yes, this is what the example of you've been saying, why we need to do it right before we go to sleep, right when we get up. Right? Okay, and last but not least, because we have to cut our time today, I have highlighted on where it says the subconscious cannot reason like your conscious mind, which we've been discussing about that also. Your subconscious mind cannot argue controversially. So it just takes everything as we give it.
That's right.
You want good, the subconscious mind says you can have your good. You want bad thinking, you feeding your mind with bad thoughts, then it will say, well, you have it your way, because it's just doesn't disagree with us. Whatever we are saying is just give us. And the proof of it is our life result. So let's look at our life and see if that's how we want to continue to live it. And me and you, we are standing to live a happy and beautiful and peaceful, successful life. And we want to be able to have those 1,000 people we are inviting to join us and to create that lifestyle.
That's right.
I trust everybody is enjoying this video and finding value on our conversation today. Please let us know if there is any way that we can serve you better, and if there is any more detailed information that you would like to receive. And you can share with them actually how they can reach out to us so we can serve them even better.
Go to inspiring1000people at gmail.com. And the 1000 is 1000. So inspiring1000 people at gmail.com.
And also they can actually join our private Facebook page, which is Inspiring 1,000 People, right?
That's right.
Yes. Well, we look forward to seeing you in that group, and we trust that you'll be one of our 1,000 people that we are going to inspire and work together to live this happy and beautiful and peaceful life.
Amen.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.